All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I am here to talk to Clestine, the purpose coach. Now, how I connected with Clestine is that she was a speaker for the Black Woman Entrepreneur Tour, the second annual Black Woman Entrepreneur Tour that we just had last month. And she had an incredible message that I really want to go further and deeper into today, because that's what she's all about, and that's what she's going to talk to us about creating a powerful message. So before we jump into that, Clestine, can you tell us a little bit more about who you are? Because I know the people who attended the event got to know about you, but for Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and everywhere that we're streaming right now, can you please let my audience know, tell us your story and how you got to this point.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you, Galyn, because it's Sunday and you could be doing something else. You could be resting with your feet up, right? So I appreciate you doing this on a Sunday. I really do. So thank you so much. But I know that entrepreneurship, for those of you that are in it or want to get into it, that's what entrepreneurship is about. We kind of make your schedule how you need to, and we help each other, and that's entrepreneurship. So I'm known as Clestine, the Purpose Coach, and you can find out more about me at mypurposecoach.com for those of you that like to just get to it. But I started many years ago. I've been in business about 17 years, and I started out as an engineer, but I've always had a teacher spirit and realized 2 years into it that I really was not an engineer. And I got into engineering because I was really good at math and science. And one of the things that I learned from that was that just because you're good at something, just because you like something, does not mean that that's what God has called you to. It does not mean that
Mhm.
that is your passion. And so I learned that the hard way. And so I'm really passionate about helping people to find their passion, to find that thing that makes them a genius, right? Because God has put every one of us has something in us that makes us shine, that makes us a genius to whatever tribe or to those he's called you to. And so I was in engineering for 8 years. Again, 2 years into it, I was at lunch and I saw the light in the eyes of my colleagues, and they were all excited about talking about their future goals in engineering, and I was not. And so I started praying for 6 years because I was like, I want what they have. I want that light. I want that excitement, but I didn't have it.
Mhm.
And so I prayed for long years. I ended up moving from where I was to another state where I knew nobody. And that's where um, God and I really met. And that's where he started to show me who I was and my calling. And 6 years later, after my prayer, so a total of 8 years, that is when I got laid off on my birthday. But in
Wow.
my spirit, I knew that it was God. It wasn't the devil. It wasn't an enemy. It wasn't something bad. It was a disruption that God allowed to get me on the right path. And so now, because of that, I found my passion in the disruption. I found my passion out of the thing that I didn't like, because I don't want anybody to experience or feel what I felt. I want people to skip that and just go straight to their passion and get abundance out of it. So I help women of faith in business to get clear on their genius, that thing that makes them shine, and then learn how to package that and profit from that so that they can attract the right clients to them. So that's the short version of my story.
I love that you help them get to their genius, because there's this thing called that unconscious genius that
Mm-hmm.
we are so good at something, we can do something with our eyes closed.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
There's something that our friends, our families, our coworkers are always coming to us to get
Right.
help on. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so easy for us. We would do it for free. And so with that, is it doesn't seem spectacular. It doesn't seem awesome or amazing, but
Right.
other people would literally pay you for that genius that you have, whether
Mm-hmm.
cooking, cleaning, organizing. Like it doesn't have to be a physical talent or artistic talent like dancing and singing or athletic stuff, sports. It can be something like you really know how to organize a kitchen. You can really clean out someone's closet. Like
All
there's
right.
an unconscious genius that a lot of people do not realize, especially women, because we're
Uh-huh.
so used to juggling and multitasking and being super mom and superwoman to everyone. And there's this thing that we can do better than anyone else. We can do without thinking, and we will do it for free. And a lot of times, that's a lucrative skill, passion,
Absolutely.
hobby. So I'm
Right.
glad that you had that gift to be able to pull that out of people.
Right.
Um, so you talk about creating a powerful message. So can you, for the people who are not so into marketing terminology and business terms, and can you explain to me like I was a 5-year old, like what is your message? What is
Okay.
a message?
I will. Before I do that, though, you said something, and I want to go back to it. A lot of times, the reason why, as women and even men, that we can't find where we fit in the world is because we're comparing ourselves to other people. And
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I shared that because somebody might
Mhm.
be watching this right now and they're like, I'm not a genius. And yeah, so this is not for me. But it is for you because you are a genius because God gave each and every one of us um, something that others need. And you might not be a Tony Robbins or a Joyce Meyer, and you might not be a Martha Stewart or a Dave Ramsey, but there are people around you that are looking up to you and saying, oh my gosh, you are amazing, right? You're amazing to them. Right? You have somebody that you look up to and you think is amazing and that you're gleaning your knowledge from, but then the other people that are looking up to you. So everybody has someone that's looking up to you, to them, or that thinks they're a genius. And so that's what I do is to help you to find them so that you can shine and give God the glory as it says in Matthew 5 verse 16. So I
That's
wanted to make sure that I you know, that I said that so somebody doesn't think, oh, well, I'm not a genius because you're a genius to somebody. We just have to find who
exactly.
that is. Right.
Yes, yes. I'm trying to think what book that was. I think the book was, oh, it was Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. He talks about
Ah.
people feeling like they are not an expert or they don't have a genius. And
Uh-huh.
he talks about that movie, Catch Me If You Can. It had Leonardo DiCaprio in
Yeah, I love that movie.
I don't know, it was about identity theft or something like that. He was all these different characters, had all these jobs. He was like
Hmm.
a professor in a college, and when he finally got caught, they asked him like, how were you able to teach college? And he said, all I had to be was one chapter ahead, and I was
Hmm.
able to teach on this subject that these students did not know. So again, all you have
Hmm.
to be is just one chapter ahead of people,
Hmm.
and to that person, you are the expert, you are the
Hmm.
genius. If you know
Hmm.
something that someone else doesn't know, to
Hmm.
them in their eyes, you are the genius, you are the expert. So yeah, I'm glad that we circle back to that. Thank you so
Hmm. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, getting to your question now about what is a marketing message. So, I believe that God has placed in us, each and every one of us, in our heart. And our heart is actually your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is the heart. The Bible talks about the heart and it's your subconscious mind. So, I use that interchangeably. But in our heart, God has placed who we are, right? He's placed who we are. And so, there is a message within us that is kind of the core of who you are to be in the world. It's the core of how you show up, it's the core of what you do. So it's your marketing message. So what I do is I help you to find out what that is and then and make it succinct. So basically putting it into a powerful marketing message or otherwise a elevator pitch so that when you go to a networking meeting or maybe in the elevator with someone or walking to your car or something like that and someone asks you what do, you can say it without rumbling and scrambling all over the place talking for a whole uh 5, 10 minutes, you could just say in 30 seconds. And it's designed so that that person, your ideal person, will say, I think I need to talk to you. And I'm going to share two stories, right? To give you an example of that. So I had, when I first started, wanted to establish myself as an international speaker, which I did. And then after working for a few years, my clients were from all over the country. I'm like, you know what? Nobody knows me in this area where I live, in the Tampa Bay area. And I live about an hour outside of Tampa Bay. But I said, I need to start networking there so people know me. So I started networking there, and one of the first networking meetings I went to, did my elevator pitch, my powerful statement. And afterwards, this woman came up to me and she said, "Oh my goodness, I really, really need to talk to you. I mean, what you said, it just resonated with me." Well, right after, another woman came up, and she who was previously a client like 2 years before, and she said the same thing. And I said, well, okay, let me meet with this one here first, and then I'll meet with you. So I met with the first lady first, who I had never met, by the way, never met her. And she hired me on the spot, and we were together for about a year. My previous client, she rehired me, and we worked together for about 6 months on the spot, mind you. So out of a 30-second elevator pitch, or a 30-second passion statement, as one of my clients calls it, I got 2 clients. So this is not a typical, these aren't typical results, but it shows what can happen. And then when I say it's not typical, you might not get them like right away. It might be a week or a month from now. But what it does is it draws your ideal client out of the audience when you know how to make your or to share your marketing message. And so that's what one of the things that I help my clients do is, one of the first things actually is, first identify your genius. And then the next thing is, okay, what is your passion statement, as my client Michelle calls it? What is your passion statement or elevator pitch, so that you can communicate clearly what you do?
So your passion statement, elevator pitch, you're saying it needs to be around 30 seconds, because you have something called a lucrative 30-second. Can you go into that, like break that down in the time, and why is it 30 seconds? Why is that so effective or powerful?
So 30 seconds basically is, our intention span is not that great, for one
Mhm.
thing. The second thing, though, is when you go to a networking meeting, most networking meetings, they give you 30 seconds. They give you 30 seconds to share who you are and what you can do. Most people stumble over that. They're like, 30 seconds, that doesn't give me much time. And they end up spending most of those 30 seconds talking about the name of their company and what they do in their company, instead of talking about what they can do for you, because you're not really interested in their skills, so to speak. You're more interested in how can you help them. So that's what they're interested in. So what I help you to do is just make it succinct, so you can share, hey, my name is Clestine, the Purpose Coach, and I help women too. Go straight into it. It's designed to filter your audience, because you're not for everybody. Remember, God has called you to a certain group of people. You're not for everyone. So when you're in an audience, you want to be able to filter them out. Some people are going to be like, not interested. And then others are going to be like, I think I need to talk to you a little more. And that's what you want. You want to draw their interest, so then you can have that long conversation, your consultation with them, to tell them more.
Awesome. So I know 30 seconds is really short, and people want to make sure they get everything they can about themselves, about their products, about their business. And you're like, how can I fit everything about me or my business in 30 seconds? Is there a formula, a structure of what you should say in that 30 seconds? Should you not talk about the product? What exactly can you fit in 30 seconds?
Actually, there is a formula, and that's what I'm going to be teaching next week. But just very quickly, for those that are here, first you want to talk about how you help people, and then why. right? Why are you helping them? Or what are the results? So how you help them and what are the results that they're going to get. So if you can cut that, that's very easy to cut that into a 30-second statement. So how do you help them? Because again, it's not about you, boo. It's about those that God called you to. So
Yeah.
how can you help them and what results will they get? Because they're really interested in getting the results, right? They're not interested in how you're going to help them per se. They're more interested in, can she help me or can he help me? So how can you help them and what results are they going to get? And that's a succinct, a condensed way of sharing how to do your 30-second elevator pitch.
So how you can help them and the results.
Correct.
Right. Okay. That is so awesome to know, because I know whether you are a service based business or you have a physical product, I know for physical products, people want to talk about is fast, is new, is big, is small, is convenient. I mean, well, convenient is a good benefit, but they want to talk about the features, like how awesome the product is. And people just want to know, how can it help me? Like,
Right.
people don't actually care about the product; they care about what the product can do for them. And for service-based businesses, I know people want to talk about, I'm going to give you 30 days or 90 days of coaching. I'm going to talk to you once a week, every month, and I'm going to give you this swipe file and this thing, because some of us are taught that if we throw more stuff in it, that increases the value. So we want to make sure we tell everybody everything they're going to get, as if we're
Mm-hmm.
some infomercial. But for in 30 seconds, it's more effective to just say how you help and get the results. That's right.
Correct. That is so correct. And some people might be saying, well, I do want to know the features, right? Because it depends on your personality, right? So, yes, you do want to know the features, but you want to know the results more, right? So, I'm not saying that you shouldn't eventually share the features. When you get to your consultation, that 30 minutes or that 1 hour meeting, you could talk about all of those things. But in 30 seconds, somebody wants to know subconsciously or in their heart, they really want to know the results, because that's what's going to help move them forward.
So, before we talk about how you're going to help us create that 30-second lucrative pitch, so if we're only giving them 30 seconds and we tell them how we help and the result, if someone is interested in the features, if they are interested in what everything is involved in the program or your service, once you give them that lucrative 30-second message, how do you transition to, well, here's my card, or give me a call, or check out my website? How do you transition from when somebody says, tell me more? How do you go into that next step?
Well, you started very well. So they're going to come up to you and say, I think I need to meet with you, or can you tell me more, or can we meet? And the answer is yes. And you can give them a card, or I have a site called talktoclestine.com. And if you go to talktoclestine.com, it takes you to my scheduler where you can schedule your consultation time with me. So I will tell them that. I always tell my clients, do not put your business in the results of your business in the hand of somebody else, because you're the owner. And so I always tell people, if you give somebody a card, make sure you take their card and write on the back why you're taking their card. They are interested in a consultation, because we all do it. We're interested, we're excited in the moment, and then something happens, or a squirrel runs by or a shiny object runs by, and we go after that. We totally forget that we really wanted to talk to this person. So you want to make sure that you give them your card or the sites where they can register or schedule an appointment, but you want to take their information so that you can call them after a day or two if they haven't called you and said, hey, just calling to make sure you still wanted to, or email them and send them the link so that they can schedule a consultation. And then in the consultation, you can talk about your features,
Awesome. So I really appreciate you coming on my platform and talking to my audience about how to create a powerful message in just 30 seconds and how
Hmm.
effective that time is. But before you go, you're going to be helping people create that 30-second, that lucrative 30-second statement and that powerful
Hmm.
message all
Hmm.
next week. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I did a survey, a marketing research to just to figure out what my next event was going to be about because I was thinking of shifting the focus, and my audience basically told me we don't want you to shift the focus. We still need to know how to put a marketing message together. So I was like, okay. So I am going to be doing a 5-day workshop, and it's going to be starting tomorrow, Monday, December the 7th. You could go to powerfulmarketingmessage.com, powerfulmarketingmessage.com. It's real simple. Powerfulmarketingmessage.com to register. And it's 5 days. It's going to be transformative, meaning when I do things, because I'm a teacher spirit, it's not just about showing up and getting the information, it's about being different so that by the end of it, you're going to get your marketing message, you're going to get your elevator pitch, you're going to get ways to use them, but you're also going to have an experience where you've been stretched to showing up differently because the reason why you're probably here and want to connect is because you're not showing up the way that you need to show up in your business. And so it's also going to be transformative. So it's going to be interactive. There's going to be really short videos each day, 15, 20-minute teaching videos. Then you're going to show up and do your homework, post your homework in the Facebook group. And then we'll have a Facebook party at the end of the day where you get to ask questions. And somebody, some special person, is going to win a scholarship to my program where I help people to identify the genius, discover who their ideal client is, and then I help you to develop a program that you can then use to attract your ideal client and profit from. So someone's going to win the scholarship at the end of the week. So it could be you.
I am so excited, Clestine. That's so awesome. Thank you so much
You're
again
welcome. You're
for
welcome. You're
coming to my
welcome.
platform. That's going to be an incredible week, you guys. Please go to powerfulmarketingmessage.com and make sure you get signed up so you can be enrolled and create your lucrative 30-second. What do you call it? Lucrative 30-second
Presentation.
presentation. Love
Yes,
that.
yes.
So you
I,
know exactly what to say when you see somebody in the elevator, if you're in
mhm.
a networking event or you're live on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. Just 30 powerful seconds to create a powerful message.
Absolutely. So you might be saying, well, okay, so it works for you, but what about someone else? So the woman that I told you about that came up to me first, um, who who hired me on the spot. She ended up working for me. She'd been in business 7 years, and she was a network queen, meaning she liked to network, but she wasn't getting good results. And so we worked on her marketing message, her elevator pitch. And the first time she did it, whereas before she used to always afterwards the meeting have to go up to people. The first time she did it, she said 2 or 3 people came up to her and said, I think I need to meet with you,
Wow.
right? After 7 years. So I love telling that story because it shows the power of when you change your words and show up confidently. So we're going to be talking about all of that. It's not just about what you're saying, it's about how you're showing up. So we're going to work on that next week so that you can show up powerfully as well.
That's so incredible. So Clestine has given us all the receipts of how powerful and effective this is and how she can help you. You've heard how she helped herself and others with a lucrative 30-second presentation. Lucrative 30-second presentation. I like that. That's awesome. Again, powerfulmarketingmessage.com. And Clestine, before we end, can you tell us where we can find you online?
Yes, you could go to mypurposecoach.com. You can find out more about me. I have a free ebook there, and find out more about me. If you need to hire me to speak, anything you need to know about me is at mypurposecoach.com.
That's awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, you can still leave a comment under this broadcast and we will be able to get to you and reply to your messages. Thank you again, Clestine. Thank you everyone for
Thank you.
watching. Until next time.